What's going on, everybody? I'm Jorge, the producer here at SAGA Motorsports, and we are here at MSR Cresson. Felix, what do we have going on today?
Today we are karting at MSR Cresson. We've been waiting to do this for a long time. TJ finally made this happen. You guys know who TJ is. Today we are here with the whole crew, Ryan, Alvin, TJ, this guy here who can't stop talking about sim racing, and myself. Today's going to be a blast. The plan is to see, does karting translate to on-track driving?
Yeah, we're here to see what skills actually transfer over from karting into the motorsports world, and I'm really excited to see. I don't have any experience in any type of car outside of a quick Ferrari three-lap session, so it's going to be really interesting to see. What do you think is going to come out of today?
I think we're going to have a little bit of everything. So I've done a handful of sessions in karts. TJ was literally born in a kart. We have Ryan, who's done a decent amount of karting. Alvin's relatively new. Jorge has never done it, so we can all share our initial opinions on what we think and how it translates if you want, and get our before and afters. What do you think?
All right, well, we can go ahead and catch up with the crew, get their opinions before we get on track, so let's go ahead and get ready, man.
Okay, and we will be doing a friendly, not so friendly competition of who gets the fastest lap time out here. TJ is the utmost competitive, but let's see how close we can get to that.
Oh yeah, that's right, so we're going to be doing a three-lap shootout. So everybody's going to get a quick warm-up session to get familiar with the kart
and the track.
And then after that, we'll do 3 sessions apiece. Fastest time wins.
3 laps apiece, yeah.
3 laps apiece. Fastest time wins. All right, we'll see how it goes.
Let's get it.
All right.
It's got a centrifugal clutch. You'll feel it engage, then you'll have direct drive. Speed is based upon the sprockets that you have, but you're in direct drive.
Yep.
When you stick it, you're going to get so slow that the centrifugal clutch has to re-engage, and it's a very slow off. So it's a momentum part. You want to keep the centrifugal clutch always engaged, not get it to the point where it slips.
And when it sticks, is that like at the highest G load?
Yeah, height of G load, it'll stick, and then it'll almost come to a stop, and then you'll be really slow off.
So this is the things that we've never heard, obviously being new.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other thing is in karting, they're nose to tail, and just the slightest mistake, and you're half second behind, you're not gonna catch up. So the person who wins, or the top 5, are the people that don't make any mistakes. Zero.
Now that we're squeezing stuff out of you, would you say that karting is a shorter, faster, or it's a keeping momentum through the corner, or both of those? Or?
It's keeping momentum. Okay. You want if you could possibly make the lap 100% without lifting and the centrifugal clutch fully engaged, you're going to be really quick.
So it's not like the GT2 where you just point and floor it?
No, it's not point and shoot. This is momentum.
Okay, this will be fun.
Yep.
Everyone good? Alvin?
What do you mean by momentum?
The least amount of speed to scrub off for a corner. So you just want to keep the cart rolling. You don't want to over brake. You don't want to over slow. You don't want to turn too sharp because it creates friction, and friction slows down your momentum, and then you're toast.
So for you, TJ, you've obviously won karting championships, actual racing championships in your radicals. What would be the biggest difference between karting and driving on an actual track?
I think to me everything translates. You have understeer, you have oversteer, you have throttle, you have brake, you have the car sliding, and the cart, when you're going around a corner, you're going to start feeling it starting to slide, and that's kind of creating some slip angle, and that's what you're going to want to continue to learn. You really learn slip angle through karting.
All right, Ryan, I gotta bug you now.
All right.
You've obviously had your fair share of karting as well. Tell us, what are you expecting out of today, man?
Well, I'm expecting, it's a new track, new course. Be curious to see what the layout feels like, the flow of the track feels like. It's really hot, so definitely get some slipping So I guess we'll see how many people can keep it on the track. Is kind of, you know, my big question. What I expect is a lot of fun. And then we're all ultra competitive, all of us. So we're gonna hear some excuses. We're gonna hear some BS a little bit, but we'll see what the times are at the end, right?
Okay, TJ. So I was asking you some questions here earlier because you're telling me that you're going flat out through most of this track, and you have one braking point, two braking points.
One into the first paper clip and one into the second paper.
So to me, I have several brake points throughout the entire track, and one of the things that I was going to bring up before I grabbed the camera to film it was I feel like this is more of a confidence thing at this point, right? You know more what to expect, so you have more confidence going through all these turns without braking. So for somebody like me who doesn't really do, I haven't done any tracking, and the karting that I've done has been in rentals at like K1 or stuff like that. So what would be some advice to give somebody like me when doing something like this for the first time?
Well, first time you just have to get comfortable with the cart and the brakes and the turning. But here at turn one, notice Felix is lifting off now. You won't hear me lift off. And what happens is I'll just stab the brake, get the cart set, and it'll start sliding. The sliding is what's scrubbing the speed off.
Okay, so
it enters slip angle and starts sliding a little bit, and I just correct, and I just come around the corner here. This corner here, I'm full throttle, but I brake lightly into the corner. It's just getting used to the car sliding, and the sliding scrubs the speed off.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I noticed at the times where I felt like I was sliding. I was like, uh-oh, bring it back, because I thought I was going to spin it out, but what you're saying is that there's a little bit, you have a little bit of leeway there as to how much.
Yeah, we call that slip angle, that little leeway, so it starts sliding. But if it slides too much, the cart will stick and come to a stop, and it turns all the momentum off, and then you overslip. And that's what a stick is.
A lot of stuff to learn. So now that it's just us, between the four of you guys from track, who's gonna go off first? Did we just answer the question?
We just answered that question.
Can't reach the pedals because he'll smoke us.
Good? We good? Get in the frame for this goddamn.
No, this looks scary as fuck. Okay, I'm so confused.
Hey, pick a style. Look what we got to deal with, y'all.
Okay,
All right, Felix.
What's
so we've all had a few laps in each one of the carts. How are we feeling so far?
I think we all have the juices flowing. We're all super excited. We're all mind blown on how good these carts are.
Yeah.
I think we're all ready. What are we doing?
All right, so now we're actually going to get into a 3-lap shootout. So we're going to do this in teams. So we're going to take the better drivers. Felix and TJ are going to be team captains, and I'm going to be on TJ's team, and Alvin's going to be on Felix's team. Somehow we're breaking it down.
So we're going to be doing, it's a 3-lap shootout. We're going to be doing an out lap, and that's going to be our warm-up lap. We have basically 3 hot laps to try to get our best time. The best time from each team or each driver in the team gets added and then divided, and then that's how we're going to do it. There will be one average time for one team, one average time. There will be an average time for each team, and whoever gets the lowest time wins.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to this. We have a little competition going on between you and I on the sim. You're definitely. If you guys want to see that, let us know in the comments down below, because I'm actually pretty close to smoking him on a lot of tracks. So, anyway.
On a sim.
on a sim. But
That's
anyway.
fair, that's fair.
So, we'll do the 3 laps, and we'll see who gets the fastest time. Now, let's make it interesting. What do we want to bet on this? What do we want to wager?
Guys, what are we putting on this?
What are we wagering?
Against who?
Whoever wins gets to drive TJ's Lige.
Boom! All right, you guys heard it here first.
You guys heard it.
Whoever wins gets to drive TJ's Lige.
That's very fair.
So that's what we're going to be getting into. So right now we have a mini bike on the track, so we got to wait for him to get off. But once he's off, Felix and TJ are going to set the bar with going first, and then I'll follow up with Alvin.
I guess it's Jorge.
Up with our competition. Very interesting results. Ryan, what do we got?
Ryan the judge.
Ryan, for everybody watching, Ryan was the timekeeper for both sessions. We ended up doing this in pairs, so who went out first?
It was
Alvin and TJ.
Alvin and TJ went out first, and then Felix and I went out second. So Ryan, show us how bad we did.
So combined for Alvin and Felix, it's 2 minutes flat. And for TJ and Jorge, it's 2 minutes 4 seconds. It's close. So, congratulations.
Give it to me, baby. Now, TJ, you want to talk about the excuse of weight advantage?
Really?
Okay, so bring us back to reality, TJ, on how important weight is in a car.
So you have, we're running carts with basically Briggs & Stratton motors on it, about 8 horsepower. And Felix outweighs me by about 50 pounds. And he was about a second faster per lap. But you could see that translate down the straightaway, because 3/4 the way down the straightaway, Felix is running into the rev limiters, okay, and on the 2 long straights, and I'm not even close. So he's about 4 miles an hour faster down the straightaways than we are, plus the acceleration of an 8 horsepower motor. So in go-karting, they run by weight class, and everybody should weigh exactly the same. Most people are having to add weight to their carts to get equal, but in the carts we have here, you know, there's no way to add the weight, so I'm running a 50-pound disadvantage. it translates. It's a significant translation. What do you think?
I think it's a significant translation. I've talked about it in drag racing. We've seen it in cars actually, right?
Yeah,
when
you
we
and I
do
have.
back-to-back laps. We'll overlay that data, and then we could be even on track out, and then I gain a little bit. Weight is super important, and especially in something where, how much does the cart weigh, TJ? Probably 200? No, less.
The cart?
The cart.
The cart probably weighs right at 200.
Right at 200. So something that's 200,
Yeah.
the weight you add to it is going to be very significant.
Yeah, it wasn't very heavy because I had to pull mine out of the grass. So
Yeah, so you guys will see this for sure in the video. Jorge had a little spinneroonies, and then Alvin threw away a lap, so we were biting our nails.
It wasn't good race.
So he throws down the gauntlet, says who's going to be the first one to go off this afternoon. And
Don't remind me, TJ. Don't remind me.
all right.
Who's gonna go off first?
But weight translates even in full cars. Felix and I spent a lot of time in 911s, and we were at Barber and we're running neck and neck, and I'm checking his data where he's faster and he's checking my data where I'm faster. And at the end of the day, I was 7 feet deeper in braking. I had a higher min speed at apex. I came off the corner a little bit faster, but I still lost by 1,000th of a second at the end of the entire lap. And you just see the lap time from the data, he's just gaining the speed down the straightaway. So 50 pounds makes a lot of difference. And in a go-kart with only 8 horsepower, it's
Makes a world of difference.
it's
So,
huge.
so to answer the question, does karting translate to trekking?
100%.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, especially at the higher formulas.
At a higher performing kart or at a higher level kart, we spoke about this a few times on rental karts, how it's more you muscle it around.
You have fun, you goof around, you throw your weight around. You can't do that in these carts.
Nope.
One of the main things that stood out to me as a non-driver, because you guys are the actual drivers of the cars, is the confidence. And I spoke to TJ about this earlier, is that the confidence that I had going through the track wasn't the same. He's getting a bunch of good slip angle, slowing the car down with the slip angle, and I'm using the brake, and that's slowing me down way more. So talk to me a little bit more about how does that confidence translate into actual performance driving?
So Jorge's coming down the track up to the corners like turn 1, it's a decreasing radius corner, and he'll let off the gas and then he'll brake into the corner, where I don't let off at all, and I rotate the car into the corner, and it starts to create a little bit of a slip. And how do you call that slip angle? It's gripping but still sliding?
Yes, gripping but still sliding, yep.
Yeah, and so I just
Sliding with grip.
Sliding with grip. So I'm sliding the cart to get the cart slowed down and maintaining that edge without having to stick it, because a stick is if you go too fast and then the cart sticks and you have to add wheel to the car. So I'm really going around a corner. I've turned in a little bit, the car starts slip angle, I neutralize the wheel to its straight, but I'm still making a corner. And you want to be able to get really good at that slip angle, maintaining that ride at the slip angle. Like surfing, you want to be on that wave, right?
And I think that translates straight to a car. So what Jorge said is very important, confidence. So before going 10/10ths into a full-blown car that's 3,000 pounds, I think this is a great step leading up to that, because you can grow and be confident in a car like this to where the car is sliding and you're getting comfortable with sliding. Now, in a car, sometimes sliding, if you overslide a car or if you go past the slip angle, you're actually killing lap time. But the confidence will translate into a car. Now, a car will have more suspension movement, so there is some adapting that needs to go on, because like I said, I've seen people who are mega in a car, but just since there's more components connecting the seat to the asphalt, they can't gain that last second or those last 2 seconds. So there's still another step between karting, slip angle going fast, and being in a car, but I think it's a really good stepping stone. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, the other thing is you had better be in great shape.
Yes.
Yeah, because I could drive cars for hours, an hour and a half spent in my Ligier, but in the go-kart out here, all of us within 10 laps were huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
They are physical to drive.
Alvin
and
and
a lot of turn, a lot of hand grip.
Oh yeah. And by the time I got done with the last lap, my heart rate was at 168 coming in, To add to that, the heat and the suit and the physicality of driving. And that's another thing that brought me back to just doing ride-alongs with you guys, right? Is when I'm just doing ride-alongs with you guys, I feel the weight of the car throwing me side to side. So as drivers, how does that compare between the kart and actually driving a car? How are you guys compensating for the physicality of driving?
I mean, for me, you kind of, throw it in the corner. And now I have a weight advantage in the corners because my part will stick more than yours. But, I mean, you don't have the weight transfer as much as you would in a car. So you don't have to wait for that transfer. You can give it input, it'll turn.
It's weight transfer.
You don't have to think about the front end washing out or anything. I mean, you give it gas, it's just going to rotate and go. So you have to approach karting differently than a car and approach a car differently than a kart. But, like Felix said, what you're doing translates about the same. You just have to account for a lot more in a car than you would in a kart.
Right. So, and for you, Alvin, I think this is one of your, you've done karting before, but maybe not at this level.
Not at this level.
But you definitely have more experience driving than I do. So how did you feel about the kart versus the car? Was there anything that stood out to you from driving the kart that would immediately click that didn't happen in the car?
There was a lot of weight transfer. I could feel more in the carts out there. I mean, it was a little more, it was just very physical, to be honest.
It's a lot to ingest.
But it's still the basics. It's still
Yeah.
a turn in.
Yeah,
You
still
still
the
have
basics.
you still either have a push or an oversteer on the turn
Right,
in.
yeah,
You
you
still
still
have an
don't have
apex.
that.
You still have corner off.
Yeah.
It's either pushing a corner off or it's opposite lock and corner off. So but it's just quicker because it's such a
is.
short wheelbase, right? The transition, the weight shift is like instantaneous, and you got to be really quick with the hands.
Yeah,
and you can't be too quick that you overcorrect. So.
Yeah.
Right, just like that turn one, I was trying to hit it as fast as TJ. Clearly I wasn't, but I could feel that, man, one time I hit it pretty quick. I'm like, if I just twist just a little, I can feel I may just go off the track. Lucky I didn't. I almost hit the cone. I went very far, but I made it. But yeah, I didn't take that turn that quick.
And Jorge are laughing because you were out with Felix in the first session, and we're noticing how twitchy the karts were because you're trying to get used to how sensitive the steering is, and the karts are twitching all around.
Mm-hmm.
And the last session when the speeds picked up, you were less twitchy.
Yep.
But you still can't make a big input because
Right.
a big input will make a huge difference, right?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, spinning out.
Spinning out. Big.
Well, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Make sure you guys leave any comments and questions down below, and we'll see you guys for the next one. All right, that's it.